Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video with the American Stroke Foundation. My name is Chaz Trujillo, and I'm one of the occupational therapy students from KU Med. So when I think about setting goals, I tend to think about New Year's resolutions. And right around this time of the year is when a lot of people start to fail or fade or start to be inconsistent with reaching their goals. And I think a big part of this is because the goals that they write for themselves are either too huge, they're unattainable, they're vague, or, most of all, they just aren't very meaningful to that individual. Another thing that I think about is the difficulty of writing goals. It's really a skill set that needs to be worked on and improved over time. It's not something that we can just go ahead and do and be great at right from the start. So today we're just going to be going over some basic things about how to set goals, why we want to set them, what the benefits are, and some ways that we can be consistent. So I kind of went over the schedule already, but just a little reminder here. So we're going to go over the benefits of the goals, why they're necessary, why they're important, how they can help us out. And after we talk about the benefits, then we'll move on to how to set goals. So where do we begin? Where do we start? What's the process of writing a goal? How do we continue to keep up with our goals? And lastly, we'll discuss tips on how to stay consistent to reach your goal. Okay, so how can goals help us? What can they do for you? So the first thing that goals can do is help give us a sense of direction. They help keep us on track. They give us the steps and actions to continue to improve and build upon what we've already done. Now, a second thing that goals can do is help keep us focused. They give us a purpose or something to work towards, something to strive for. It helps limit distractions. It keeps us organized and allows us to prioritize what's really important to us. Now, another thing that setting goals helps with is uncovering barriers. Knowing whether your barrier is mental, physical, if there's a law or policy that's preventing you from improving. This helps us take a strategic route to persevering and moving forward. Goals can also be a source of motivation. They give us something to look forward to. They help us visualize what reaching that goal is, the successes that we'll achieve. And that gets really exciting and gives us a place to start. Okay, so how else can goals help us? Well, they also provide us with personal satisfaction. Having those small victories or seeing a little improvement every single day. This personal satisfaction comes from confidence and self-efficacy, and these play a big role in improving our quality of life. Next, having goals helps break big tasks and dreams into smaller ones that are more achievable. It kind of reminds me of getting to the top of the stairs. We don't get there in one big step. We take a lot of small steps in order to get to the top. And that's kind of what having goals is like. We incrementally improve until we reach our overarching goal. And the last thing that goals can help us with are changing habits and routines. Maybe we have a bad habit that we want to kick, where we feel like we've fallen into a routine where we're not challenging ourselves to get better every single day. These goals give us the opportunity to change if we want to, and we will. So now that we've gone over some of the benefits of having and setting goals, we'll go over how to make your goal. And this can be really difficult, especially if you're a beginner or you're just starting to write new goals. The first thing that we're going to do is brainstorm. We can journal out loud. We can talk to friends, family, caregivers, whoever it is, just to bounce ideas off of, get other perspectives. Now, during this initial brainstorm, we want to come up with 10 to 20 ideas or goals that we want to improve on. And this is just to get the ball rolling. Now, the next step in the goal setting process is narrowing your purpose. We want to cut that list of 10 or 20 down to maybe 1 to 5 things that are really meaningful and near and dear to your heart. Because if we come up with a goal that has no meaning to us, then we're not going to follow through. We're not going to be consistent. We're not really going to be invested. Are you just interested in improving in something, or are you going to be committed? You're more likely to be committed if it's something that is really meaningful to you. Now, after we have about 1 to 5 really solid, meaningful ideas, we want to go ahead and make that goal SMART. And we'll get to what a SMART goal is here in a minute. But after we make it SMART, we want to set up some short-term and long-term goals. Now, the short-term goals are what we're going to be accomplishing 1 week to 4 weeks. You can think of these as stepping stones to your long-term goals. And our long-term goals are going to be anything that's over 4 weeks. Now, if we go back to thinking about reaching the top of the steps, you can think of the short-term goals as each individual step. And maybe the long-term goal is reaching halfway up the steps. Okay, so now we'll move on to how to make your goal SMART. So what does SMART stand for? It stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. If it's specific, you're going to be able to answer, what do I want to accomplish? Why is this goal important to me? And who is involved? The goal is measurable if you can track your progress day to day or week to week. How much have you improved since day one? If your goal is attainable, then it's achievable. It's something realistic, something that you know that you can accomplish. You're not going above and beyond or dreaming too big. So if your goal is relevant, you're going to be able to answer yes to whether it's worth your time, or if it's the right time, or if this is something that you really want to do. Those all should be answered yes, because it's something that you will do. And lastly, T for time-based. This just means that you set a time limit for when you're going to achieve your goal, whether it's 5 months or 6 months, maybe a year out, as long as you're trying to accomplish your goal in a certain amount of time. So let's go ahead and go over an example of a SMART goal. So the stroke walk and roll is coming up in September, so I thought this might be a good relevant goal for everyone associated with the American Stroke Foundation. So I have down here that my main goal is that I want to walk 1 mile by September 2021 for stroke walk and roll. So this is specific because I'm saying that I want to walk 1 mile, and maybe I want to use a walker. It's measurable because I can monitor my progress of how far I walked 1 week to the next and see if I'm making progress. And if I'm walking, I can use a pedometer, or I can use my phone to track my distance. Now, is this attainable? Now, I know that I can walk 1/4 of a mile continuously without stopping. So if I can just do this 3 more times, then I'll hit my goal. So is this goal relevant? And I think so, because the stroke walk is put on by the American Stroke Foundation, which I'm a part of. And walking is also a healthy activity, and it's something that I enjoy. And it's time-based because I said that I want to accomplish this by September 2021. So I set a time limit for myself. So now we'll go into some examples of the short-term and long-term goals that I'll use to reach my main goal of walking 1 mile. So my short-term goals are that I want to walk for 15 minutes continuously. Also, I want to walk 1/2 mile, and I want to walk 10 minutes for 3 days out of the week. Okay, so now let's take a look at the long-term goals. I want to walk for 30 minutes straight. I want to walk 3/4 of a mile, and I want to walk for 20 minutes, 5 days out of the week. Now you can see that my short-term goals are a little bit less ambitious than my long-term ones. And as I hit my short-term goals, I'll be able to cross off hitting my long-term goals as well. And once I accomplish all my long-term goals, I should hit my main goal of walking 1 mile by September of 2021. So by using SMART goals and short and long-term goals, they provide us the structure to successfully meet our goal. So some tips that I have for staying consistent to meet your goal. The first thing that I have down here is write them down. Now, this is a way to make your goals abstract into concrete, something physical, something you can see, something that you can touch. So this can really be the first step that you take to achieving your goals. Another thing we can do is set daily or weekly reminders. There's going to be times or days, weeks when we feel unmotivated or we want to give in or give up. But these reminders are going to help us reflect on why we started in the first place, why we made these goals, what we want to accomplish. And that's going to be helpful and powerful in achieving your goals. So some more tips that we have to stay consistent is to pace yourself. We don't want to go at our goal of walking 1 mile. We don't want to try and do that the first day because we're either not going to be able to do it and get discouraged and give up, or we're going to end up hurting ourselves or injuring ourselves. We're going to be really low on energy, and we're not going to have the endurance to push through some of those long-term goals that are 5 or 6 months out. So just pacing yourself. Another thing that we want to do is monitor our progress. And we want to do this to figure out if we're improving, if we're making gains, if what we're doing is a waste of time, or if we need to change things up. This can help you save time and figure out if your goal is written well. And the last thing that we can do is visualization. And the last thing we want to do is visualize our success. We want to think about overcoming the obstacles, breaking down the barriers, doing those things that we thought we couldn't do. Visualizing our success is going to give us an idea of what it's going to feel like to reach our goal. So now I'll just go over some of the resources that I used to make this video. And now I challenge you to create one goal for yourself that you'll accomplish by September 1st of 2021. Now you can write this down. You can talk about it with a family member, a caregiver, a friend. And if you're up for an extra challenge, then go ahead and comment your goal below. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. So I look forward to seeing you guys next time. And if you guys like this video, go ahead and check out our... So if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit the like button and make sure to check out our other videos on our page. And you can always get some more information from our Facebook and Instagram. So I'll see you guys later. Hope you have a good day. Bye.